Hey everybody, welcome to 1.5. I think that you are going to enjoy this day because it will be a pretty quick one. Our whole goal today is adding and subtracting real numbers, and so we did a ton of this last year, and some of you are great at it, some of you are still like, I need a little bit of work, so we're just going to review it for a day. This right here, adding and subtracting real numbers, is what will make or break you as a math student, I think. As I watch students in Algebra 2, if they're struggling, sometimes it's because the math is hard, but usually it's because of subtracting positive and negative numbers, and adding sometimes throws them off. But we just really need to be careful with our signs. And so let's practice a little bit. You should be getting this into your notes. So it's 1.5, adding and subtracting real numbers. Our essential question of the day is how are adding and subtracting real numbers similar, and how are they different? So by the time you come back to school tomorrow, we should be able to do a summary and know how to answer those questions. Again, if you need to pause to write stuff down, always feel free to do that. Well, let's just start with kind of what are our rules. Rules of addition. To add two real numbers with the same sign, you add their absolute values and you keep the common sign. So if I add a positive and a positive, my answer is positive. You got it. So a positive plus a positive equals a positive. If they're both negative, then the answer is going to be more negative. This one right here catches a lot of people off guard. To add two real numbers with different signs, subtract the smaller absolute value from the bigger absolute value. You may want to write this, or a lot of you do much better in who wins by how much. When you're writing these, if you change the words of what I do, as long as they mean the same, that's totally cool. And so this right here really means who wins by how much. So if you're positive, you've got a positive and a negative, the positive is bigger, then you subtract them, who wins? The positives win. If you have a positive and a negative, and the negative, like the absolute value, the number part of it is bigger, then you subtract them and the negative wins. So, subtraction rules. Really, subtraction is the same thing as addition. We're just going to do a little bit of a keep, change in there. So, if you have an A minus B, we're just going to keep the sign right here, change. So, if it's a minus, we can add a negative. Now, here's the deal with that. Just thinking about, what if I have 8 minus 6? Do you need to keep, change on 8 minus 6? No, you do not. So don't make it more difficult. This comes into play right here if I had like negative 6 minus 8. There, you might just be able to see, hey, that's negative 14. However, if sometimes you get a little bit lost with the two signs, then keep, change. And this is a case it might help you. If you see a minus, always keep, change, so that's a plus. And then you just go back to the addition rules. So let's try a couple and see how it goes. Negative 3 plus 5 plus negative 6. I'm just going to walk through them right away. I would like you to write them down, and we'll go from there. So if you want to pause, great. If you just want to listen, great. So negative 3 and 5, who wins? The 5 wins by 2. And then, so I've got 2 plus negative 6. The negative 6 wins by 4. These are what we worked on last year. This year, now we're going to throw this in. Oh, do you see something that happens here? I do. A negative and a positive. My answer is just 1.9. You can do that. If you see something that makes a 0, make the 0. Let's see this one. Negative 3 plus 2/3 plus 1/3. My associative property says I can do something out of order because it's addition. I'm going to do this first. So really I've got negative 3 plus 1. The negative 3 wins by 2. this one. What do we got? -5 minus 8. If I want to, I can keep change that. I see right here, I've got -13. Then, minus a negative, keep change. So plus 3.5. If you're not a big fan of decimals, I put it into money. I owe Joe $13, and I pay him back 3.5. So let's see, now I owe him 10. I owe him still $9.50. Why is it 9.5 and not 10.5? Also, if you ever see me make a mistake in these videos, please come back and tell me the next day, and then we can argue it out, or you can just be right. All right? So, let's see. Go to here. I'm going to pause for a second, and I want you to go through and answer these 9 questions. These should all be in your notes, and so I want them there. I want to see them when you come back, and we'll check to make sure that those are right. I'm going to give you the answers in a second, but pause, do these 9 questions, and then on the next slide you can check. All right, here's my answers. Check them. If you are wrong, figure out why. If you need to, come back in and ask tomorrow. Check with your group members. Oh, I love it when the videos are less than 7 minutes long. Have a great night. Talk to you tomorrow.